Give me a minute and I'll tell you, I think it's funny that even Mother Nature seems to have chosen sides in the Russo-Ukrainian conflict. You look at the weather. The weather's been stellar, as good as it could be, pretty much for the Ukrainian side. The Russian tactic of trying to freeze Europe out last year, hold everybody hostage with the heating oil, whatever, that failed pretty miserably with one of the warmest winters on record. So Mother Nature seems to have taken sides. Back in September, we had this walrus, right, who punctured these Russian rubber boat there and wouldn't let the Russians take their tour of the Arctic Circle. They were not welcome. Now we have this situation in the Russian trenches where, as it gets cold, all the field mice and rats are coming into the bunkers, and apparently they're just loaded with them. I stole this meme from Ukraine News TV, Juzzy, who does a phenomenal job over on the Tuba Use. I highly recommend you check him out. And so the trenches are full of mice and rats, and oh my God, they're just overrun. The video is astonishing. And you wonder about how are the Ukrainians doing, because the Ukrainians are in the same boat, right? They're out there in the fields. They got a warm place. They got lots of rodents around. How are they suffering? Well, the Ukrainians are pretty famous for adopting these feline friends out at the front line. And because of that, it appears that the Ukrainians are not suffering the kind of infestations that the Russians are suffering. Now, that could also be, of course, because the Ukrainians don't turn their trenches into trash heap, which seems to be a real problem for the Russians. But just the dichotomy here kind of goes to a fundamental distinction in the cultures and kind of a respect for other living things.